Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for having me again. Right, okay. So my name is Noraini Abdul Wahab. I'm a counsellor. I'm a senior counsellor at Club Heal. I'm part of the community intervention team. So what we do is we do interventions in the community setting. So when we have patients or clients who have gone through the treatments at the hospital, or if they are in the community and unsure of whether they need medical intervention, that's where we come in. So what we can do is we can kind of advise whether they might need medical intervention, or if they are coming from the hospital, discharged from the hospital, what we can do is supportive counselling and interventions within the community. Stress is a situation where you are under a certain amount of pressure and being expected to deliver a certain amount of outcome. So the symptoms of stress, you would notice yourself being a bit more agitated. You would feel a bit more worried. You have difficulty in getting yourself to calm down and relax. So in terms of the physiological effect is that you will notice heartbeat faster. You will notice that maybe sweating a bit. You might have refluxes in your stomach, like you want to go to the toilet a bit more, right? So these are the basic reactions to stress. So what it does is that it helps the body, and it helps you to be a bit more stronger. It actually helps you to, the body is flooded with chemicals to help you perform better, faster. And you think on your feet, you become a bit more clearer. So that's what stress does for you. So healthy stress would be when it helps you to move faster, think faster, be very on the ball, because your heartbeat is beating faster. So it's like you are in a fight or flight kind of response. So unhealthy stress is when you start to think negatively about yourself. So you experience all this flooding chemicals in the body, and then you start thinking like, oh, I'm going to fail, and I'm going to look bad, and I'm going to just make a mess of things. So those are unhelpful stresses, which will kind of make you maybe scared. Instead of going forward and doing something, you might actually hold yourself back. If you notice, stress or the beginning of stress is when things are a bit more behavioral, where you experience behavioral reactions. So you find difficulty in relaxing. So it's a behavior kind of response. When it gets a step further, or it gets a notch higher, then you notice physical reactions. So what happens is that you will notice your heart beating, skipping beats, or palpitating very fast, and you think you might experience a heart attack. You have difficulty sleeping. Your mood and your diet is affected, and you feel resistance in doing anything. So when you think like you want to do something, but then you are overwhelmed with the fear of completing that act or that task, then you know that this has gone into a psychological reaction. So it becomes something that you possibly need to talk to somebody about. Right. So children, when they are stressed, they will not want to go to school. You will find that their diet will change. They will have negative thoughts about themselves, and they will throw tantrums. They are very sensitive. They get very edgy. You will notice them getting up in the night. They will have nightmares. Yeah, so these are psychological effects of having stresses which are too much for them. So an adult experiencing, so when stress has gotten beyond its limit, you are going into a second level of stress, which means it goes into anxiety and panic. So basically, a normal, healthy person with a healthy self-esteem, a person who has not experienced trauma in the past, and anybody who has grown up pretty well, they have pretty good self-esteem and self-efficacy, they would be able to overcome stress within a week or two, or whenever that period is over, they are fine. But the thing is, when an adult has had experienced trauma in the past, and or they had a childhood which was not so conducive and which was not so healthy, what happens is they will start having other symptoms on top of being stressed. So they will start thinking negatively about themselves. They will start ruminating. So the thoughts goes into a lot of directions, right? And that will cause them to have lesser sleep. They will get disrupted sleep. They will find difficulty eating. It's about the same thing with what children experience, and they get very sensitive. So when you say something to them, they take it a different way, and they are very edgy. They are less likely to be calm, obviously. Basically, a normal person with a healthy self-esteem, or who has grown up healthily, would not hurt someone else when they are stressed. They would be able to rationalize. So a healthy person would be someone who can rationalize and can have emotions and thoughts, and they can evaluate both, and they are able to weigh them and perceive them, and be able to take a stand back and decide on what's the best behavior to act out with, right? So generally, a healthy person would not be lashing out or hurting anybody else lah. If a person is hurting someone else, then there's definitely something that needs to be explored. Okay, but there has to be something else behind this. This is not just stress. So there's possibly low self-esteem. There's possibly something very negative behind that, right? So how do a Muslim deal with this? Okay, so basically, what we understand about how we react when we are not in a perfect environment, when things are just messed up, when life has just exploded, and you are in a state where you think this is it, you think like, okay, finish, die, like you are in a place where you are in survival mode. So what we understand from the Quran, from what Allah has taught us, is that we look at Surah Al-Asr, the simplest, one of the shortest surahs in the Quran, and Allah says that wal asri innal insana lafi khusr, right? So the thing is, when we look into the future and we think that it's going to be darkness, that we are going to face darkness, something bad might come because we don't know what's in the future, right? That would put us in a situation where we will go into khasr, we will not be in. You cannot put a person there and then say, okay, be tuma'nina now, be mutma'inna now, be quiet and be calm, right? Because it's a future where you don't know what's going to happen, right? Illa lazina amanu, except for those who has belief. So when you believe, when you have very strong conviction that the future is alright, that the night will come and you will live through to see the day, right? If you believe that the sun will rise, if you believe that you're fasting now and Maghrib is going to come and you're going to break your fast, you know that something better is coming. It's fine. Night is fine. Darkness is fine. Not knowing what's coming is fine. وَأَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, and you can do good deeds. You have, because you know things are going to be okay, so you can go out and help other people, and you can go out and be fine with things, you can continue work, you can continue living, right? وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ. So the formula here is for you to take things as it is. So be in this present moment and just take one step at a time. Just know that, okay, right now, look at your resources. Do a check of what you have that you can be grateful for, that you can take the next step with, that you are not going to fall in the next step. So you know, like, basically what do you have? You have your health. What do you have? You have a house, you have a roof over your head. You know that whatever it is, God will provide. You will have the next meal, right? وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. And then you know that being patient with these discomforts, it's fine. You can be patient and you can wait for a time where things will get better. You know things will get better. You've been through things, you have been through difficulties and things do get better, right? So this is a situation, like I said, if you have had a good childhood, you were brought up in a good environment, you have not gone through trauma, this would be easy for people who are in a healthy state to go through, because they know, they have seen the patterns and the patterns have never failed them. But if a person has gone through trauma in the past and the patterns failed them, the people they trusted failed them, the environment they trusted failed them, so that would put them in a state where they have difficulty trusting. And on our part as Muslims, if we do have family members or we have friends who doubt that things will be okay, then our part, the healthy people who have been through good childhood, our part would be to affirm them, to give them self-esteem, to help them with their esteem, to show them that, hey, you are okay, we are here, we will be okay, right? Give them support. Yeah. So basically, as a Muslim, we do not live alone, we live in a jama'ah. So if we are experiencing something very hard and we find that we really cannot see the light of the day from what we are going through, then we have to reach out. And for the rest of us, we also need to reach out to people who are isolating themselves. Yeah, because in times like this, where things are difficult, we need to be there for each other. Basically, anybody who's at the age of 40 or 50, when you have passed middle age, you would have gone through some traumas lah, obviously, because when you're in your 30s, life is going to be very hard, and most of us would have gone through some form of hell on earth, right? So I guess when you are going through life after something traumatic, and you have difficulty trusting the systems again, right? And you feel yourself reacting a bit more to stress, to normal stress, what we can do is, first and foremost, reach out to people. I think there's no other better way maybe to go through life, but really reaching out and talking to someone about it and getting yourself some form of support. So if you feel that your own close circle is not conducive, or they're not supportive, or they're just negative, then look further. It's okay to go and go to the family service centers, go to organizations that can help, go to the mosque, right? And tell someone that, you know, you're feeling overwhelmed, right? So I remember taking a course before, and the family therapist was telling me that, telling us that we can use our 5 fingers here as an indicator of what we need in terms of support. So you have the little fingers here. So they said that a healthy support system would have 2 persons from your juniors who look up to you. So you are somebody who has got people depending on you, and then you have 2 of the same length of your fingers, right? So this would represent 2 of your peers. So get support from people around your age or people in your own level in your circle. And then the finger which is tallest would represent somebody from the previous generation. So having someone, some guide, somebody to who you look up to, who you can get some guidance on how to get out of this position. So we need support. That's the first way to help us get out. So support is the first thing. Secondly, be there to support yourself. So be there to affirm yourself. Look into your past, and if you have been through hell, then you are a survivor. You survived hell, right? So trust in yourself also. Trust in yourself that God did give you characteristics or traits to go through difficult times, right? So in Surah Ash-Sharah, Allah says, Alam nashrah laka sadrak, right? When we are in a position where we have little trust in what's coming, right? You will notice that you have gone through hell, and you have the capacity actually to adapt and to find strength within you. We have in us God-given characteristics to adapt to life. So look for those. So look for our strengths, our capacity, and our capability. So measure yourself. So give yourself goals that you can achieve, right? And don't put too much expectation on yourself. So one of the biggest disappointment that we have on ourselves is when we expect more than what we can perform, right? So be there to affirm yourself. And I guess the third one would be, okay, this is something that you would hear all the time. And I know people who are going through mental illnesses and people who are going through difficult times hate to hear this. But the truth is, we need to trust God. We have to have some form of trust in the higher order. We need to trust in the qadr, right? That there is a solution. There is an answer to everything. There is a way out. So to trust that whatever that we're going through, it's actually a lesson, that we are going through this to build ourselves. So even if you feel like you're failing big time, the truth is, you will get out of this. InsyaAllah, you won't die. Okay? And you will get out of it. And you will find that actually, you have strengths. And you will find sweet, beautiful characteristics of yourself that you go through this and you're actually quite a good person. Yeah, even if you find yourself shouting at your children or, lashing out at your wife or something, but there are definitely good things about yourself that you have done throughout the day. Maybe you shout at a child, then you go out and buy something for them, you apologize to them. Those are good things, right? So trust that things will work out. That Allah did not make any human being like utterly terrible, that you cannot function. InsyaAllah, there is always something good that will come out. So trust that Allah has given you the capacity and Allah will help, right? So if you have difficulties in trusting God, then come to the mosque, example Masjid Darul Makmur, and meet the Ustaz here or the Ustazahs here, and you know, talk to someone, talk to them and ask them for inspiration, right? So get yourself some inspiration, and insyaAllah things will work out, insyaAllah. Alhamdulillah, we all are very lucky lah. Actually, we are quite lucky in Singapore because we have social services which are very established. So the social service sectors are quite established lah. So the first and foremost, I think one of the best places to go if you really cannot find solutions is to go to the social service office. We call it the SSO. So SSOs are places you go to if you need financial assistance, if you require assistance that you really don't know where to go with anywhere. So if you are looking for a job and you are stuck somewhere, yeah, just go down to the SSO and let them know what's going on. The other one is the Family Service Centre. So Family Service Centres, or the FSC, they are there to help you manage and help you overcome challenges that you have within the family. So when systems are something you're worried about, the systems within your family, the immediate connections, yeah, then go to the family service centers and let them know what you're going through. So they will also help with financial assistance, applications for financial assistance. They can also do mediation. They can help you with doing counselling within the family unit, right? And if, like, say, you know that you actually have a good job and your family is fine, you come from a good family, but you are experiencing a lot of negative thoughts. You know that you're well supported, you have good social support, you have good education, there's nothing really wrong with you, but you feel that something's not right. So when it comes to mental health, then you can go to the poly. You can call us Club Hill, right? Give us a call and let us know what you're experiencing. So the polyclinics can also do assessments. You can also approach your GP, your doctor, your family physicians, and they can also help you with identifying whether you're experiencing something physical, like you're experiencing illness which is giving you extra stress and negative thoughts, or if you really do have a mental health condition. I can totally relate whatever you all are going through. Life is tough now, seriously. It's not as it used to be, and it will possibly not be the way it was before. So if you are going through difficulties, you need some support. Yeah, come forth lah. Come forth and talk to someone. Just come to the mosque, go to the social service office, go to the FSC, come to Club Hill, and seek support. Because these are difficult times, but like we all know, we are going to be okay lah. InsyaAllah, we are going to be okay. We will live through this. We will find through this difficulty strengths within us, and InsyaAllah we will also find strength in the people we reach out to. We will find strength through them and they will find strength to us. We support each other.